Welcome back, friends and fictional folk, to You Can Certainly Fry, the weekly show where I tell you how to butcher and eat your favorite tabletop RPG monsters. Phoenixes are definitely a difficult creature to cook and eat, though perhaps not for the reasons you might think. We'll be discussing the more biological versions of this creature, since the more elemental ones just kind of dissipate into fire upon being killed. And many assume that's what would happen with all phoenixes, but that's not quite the case. See, phoenixes reproduce just like any other bird, mating for life and reproducing clutches of eggs. But their iconic ability to immolate themselves when they die is more of a defense mechanism. See, all phoenixes have a special organ that stores a pseudo-egg. This pseudo-egg contains a chick that is a genetic copy or clone of themselves, which develops alongside them during their infancy, and then remains in a state of suspended animation for the rest of their adult life. When the phoenix gets old enough, sick enough, or injured enough that death is inevitable, they will shatter the fire ruby housed in their body. This sudden rush of arcane fire will be channeled across pathways in their body, which bear a resemblance to human sweat glands in order to self-destruct themselves as quickly and painlessly as possible. What is left behind is a pile of ash that is used to cover and incubate the pseudo-egg, which has a specialized shell of sorts that will only burn away when it reaches a specific temperature. The chick inside will then hatch to see if any danger has passed, and then work its way out of the ash to begin its own life. Now, while this cycle is theoretically infinite, it can be cut short fairly easily. The simplest way is to grab the chick once it emerges from the ashes, since it hasn't developed its own genetic copy yet, or to do the same with a newly hatched phoenix. But if you want an adult phoenix, you'll need to end its life so quickly it doesn't have time to activate its fire ruby. This is tricky, but there are some very skilled archers who make quite the living off of being able to slay phoenixes for the tables of the elite. Other methods I've seen used include lots of water or ice, which, while they don't stop the ignition process, they do prevent the pseudo-egg from reaching the right temperature, thus allowing one to crack it open and eat the still dormant chick inside. Some attempts at domestication have been attempted with phoenixes, but most versions are too smart to allow that, similar to many corvids. As for actually cooking them, it can also be a tricky process due to their self-immolation. In order to do something like that, everything beneath their skin and feathers needs to be very flammable, and thus chefs have to be extremely precise with their timing and temperatures to avoid burning the meat. Many of the elites in society love showing off their status by serving whole phoenixes at their banquets, or to special guests, and commenting loudly about its tenderness and sophisticated flavor, while using the harvested fire ruby as a center point in their decorations. I personally don't think it tastes all that different from any other bird, and usually side with conservationists to stop poachers from overhunting them into extinction. And to see if we can get around TikTok a little bit, let's try this version to see if we can't get a bit more traffic.